to get a USB drive.
We'll save it. I mean, we'll save it for you. And
hello, everybody. This is Professor Moturu. Today, she will discuss her findings of her work on academic integrity, as well as share information on the Lone Star College-Proctoring Center.
Hi guys, I'm Sarada Moturu. I'm one of the physics faculty at Lone Star College. And I've been a face-to-face faculty at UP for 11 years, and now I'm an online college faculty. And this year I happen to have the honor of working with the Chancellor's DSI project, which is Department of Strategic Innovations. And as a science faculty, one of the things that's very close to me is maintaining the academic integrity of our online classes, and especially the tests. So that's what I'm going to introduce you to. And I don't know if you know, do you know we have a proctoring center? I'm sure you don't, because we don't. You know where it's going to start? On Monday. Let's get to the presentation, and then you can just work on it. So how did this start about? As I started teaching physics online, I realized the student's success is not determined by the amount they learn. So we have a problem with it. And I'm trying to understand where it started from. So here is a quick video. I want you to listen to this.
There's lots of ways to be as a person. And some people express their deep appreciation in different ways. But one of the ways that I believe people express their appreciation to the rest of humanity is to make something wonderful and put it out. And you never meet the people, you never shake their hands, you never hear their story or tell yours, but somehow in the act of making something with a great deal of care and love, something's transmitted there. And it's a way of expressing to the rest of our species our deep appreciation. So we need to be true to who we are.
So that's the whole point. So first thing first, which is I want to thank you all for being part of this. I wouldn't be standing here without your help. So I probably worked with 200 colleagues in the last 2-3 months in all walks of life at Lone Star. So we are one Lone Star College, one LSC family, and you listened to me patiently, you helped me analyze my thoughts, you asked questions and you gave me ideas and encouraged me to pursue this project. And you know what, more than everything else, you prayed for me and with me. I thank you from my heart. So here we go. Where do we start with this, right? So think about it. I have an unusual screen, so it just makes you think about how this works, which is life before COVID and life after COVID. So here is a chart that shows in 2019, these are the first column, shows how many online courses we have at Lone Star. And the next column tells you how many online courses we have in 2024. I'm not talking about any online courses. I'm talking about the upper level STEM courses. So guess what? You can tell the numbers are growing leaps and bounds. The online grew a lot. And we did not have a choice because of COVID. Of course, we have to offer it. Guess what happened? Unfortunately, face-to-face went down. So some of the subjects even took a bigger hit. So it's good, but the part that we missed is when we were going online before COVID, students were coming to testing centers and taking the test. So we were fine with maintaining the integrity of online classes. But once COVID hit, testing centers closed, and the only option we have is lockdown browser monitors. And we know very well how difficult it is to monitor someone that's recorded. We can't see what else they're looking at. So with that, we're getting into issues. Majority of you know, maintaining the integrity is becoming a personal issue for us. So guess what? We got to do something about it. Right, so I'm going to the next slide. So we looked at, sorry. Here comes the point. We know we have issue with academic integrity. What is it? Especially we're looking at who's affected. We're looking at the online STEM students that are preparing to go to four-year university. They're struggling to learn, and the opportunities that are there, they tempt them to do something other than what they're supposed to do. And with them not being live proctored in the testing centers, we have figured out what they're doing. So what are we planning on doing? Let's go ahead and live proctor, like in face-to-face, and faculty is standing there watching them take the test. It's the same exact credit they get, whether they take it online or in person. Why not put the same standards? We're not questioning them. We're not commenting about them. We're just going to do the exactly same what we do, which is watch them take the test. And we know very well, we learn best, we know we're going to be tested. And that's exactly what it's done. So when are we going to start it? In fall 2025. Guess what that is? Next week. And where are we starting? In all 8 colleges. Why are we doing this? This will help us understand the students are learning the material and earning their grade. Yeah, pretty common sense. So we identified we have a problem. We know who they are. So what are we going to do about it? Let's find a solution. And you know what? This is our opportunity as faculty to show we really care about academic integrity. And we're willing to roll up our sleeves and be true partners in finding a solution. Guess what, guys? We're it. We identified the problem. We're the most intelligent beings on our campus. Sorry, I have no judgment about anybody else, but I do have to give benefit to our own colleagues. So are we in this together? Our administration is behind us. They really want to help us find a solution. So let's get to this. So guess what I started? When I started as a design lab or DSI faculty, the first thing that came to my mind that I want like to address is the academic integrity. How do I maintain academic integrity in all my classes? So that's a very broad spectrum. We have hundreds, if not thousands of online classes. So as a physics faculty, I looked at what courses are approved by the curriculum teams. I found there are 41 courses. Some biology, chemistry, math and physics, and accounting technician, which is the CPA courses. So they add up to 41. The work is already done for me. They already approved live proctoring, so I get to keep going. So I looked at the cost for those, and the option we have is 2 tests using ProctorU. And ProctorU charges on average $25 per test. So guess what? Our budget for live proctoring was $300,000. When I looked at the estimation for 2025 and 26, if we really proctor all the 41 courses that are online STEM courses, the cost is going to come down to $1.5 to $2 million. And with only 2 tests. So that's not going to work out. So we got work to do. So what I did was, we need to figure out a strategy. So for fall 2025, I picked the upper level courses because they are the ones the students immediately transferring to colleges, for universities like engineering physics, anatomy physiology, microbiology, and organic chemistry and calculus. So the highlighted courses that I identified for fall 2025, and the rest of them are coming in. So all of them are coming in spring 2026. And guess what, guys? Along with the rest of the lessons, I realized the CPA courses can be only proctored by the faculty or ProctorU. So LSC-Proctoring Center cannot support those courses. So we got to take them out. So what happened was for fall 2025, we have this highlighted 13 sophomore courses. And spring 2026, we'll have all of the rest of them coming in, like college algebra, university physics, and college physics, and general chemistry. They're all going to be coming in for live proctoring. So if we look at the budget, and I just want to give you a few definitions. If we use ProctorU, that's a remote live proctoring software. And the good thing about this, we can access them 24/7. And they charge $25 per test. And for 2 tests, it's going to be $50 per student. And for 4 tests, it's going to be $100 per student, which is not feasible. And so many of our colleagues will vouch ProctorU is a nightmare. They have good intention, but we're having a lot of issues with it. So let's think out of the box. And we thought, why not get our own proctoring place? So we can get our own proctors. And if we do that, the LSC proctors, the original thought was they will be in the testing centers. The proctors are going to be at the testing centers, students are going to be wherever they are. They could be at their home or work. So they will log in, and the proctors will be remote proctoring, remote live proctoring. We do that, they get paid $17 an hour. For 2 hours is $34, but they can simultaneously proctor 6 students. So the cost is going to come down to $6 per test or $24 per student, which is quite a bit of savings. So we can offer this service to a whole lot more classes. The third option I was thinking was, instead of making it a financial burden to our system, why don't we bear the responsibility? So if faculty proctors some of the tests and the system proctors some more, guess what? The tests are going to be, for all tests, it's going to be only $12. So we can actually get a whole lot more classes like this. So if we do that for fall courses, guess what? They're going to be within the budget. So I find it that, okay, this is a fantastic way to move forward. And guess what? At that time, we're still proctored by, the plan was to do it at the testing centers. But after COVID, the testing centers do not have the bandwidth to add anymore. So all 8 presidents chose to have a centralized proctoring center. That's where this comes in. For fall 25, we have the 13 online sophomore courses, the ones I just showed you, the high entry ones. There are 135 online sophomore STEM courses that are eligible. That is engineering physics 1 and 2, organic chemistry 1 and 2, and calculus 1, 2, and 3. You got this, right? So guess what? Out of 135, 52 of them opted in, which is fantastic. 5 of you offered it. So out of this, just to give you a few more numbers, out of the 52, 26 are math courses and 26 are physics, chemistry, and biology. So I just want to give you a few more details. So there were 6 8-week 1 courses. So that means they're starting September 2nd. And they're going to test the entire class, and all of those classes are full, starting on September 2nd. So LSC-Proctoring Center is officially open, and we're going to start testing on September 2nd. And for spring 2026, like I showed you, all the other STEM courses that are already approved are coming online, which is the 25 sections. And guess what? 411 sections will be eligible for live proctoring starting spring. We got this. So what are we doing about this? This is the current status. We located the proctoring center. It's going to go live on August 25th, which is first day of courses, and the testing starts on September 2nd. And then the proctoring center will be located at LSC-UP. And it's open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You wonder, but what about Sundays? Guess what, guys? We're offering a service, and none of us are going to be able to stay up at night. And believe it or not, students will adapt to what we have. We have more hours than we used to have for testing centers, right? So proctoring centers are open a lot longer than our testing centers. And guess what? We need to adapt, and they will adapt too. And let's take the highlight one. So the proctors will be at the LSC-Proctoring Center, which is at UP, and the students are remote. So register blast with the software we identified that will be used by faculty and the students, so they can schedule their tests. And the proctors will use Zoom to remote proctor their students. And we will have 2 recordings. One is if you're using lockdown browser monitor, your computer is left alone. So we will have their face and everything else they're doing as one video. And the proctors will be using the Zoom to record their environment, the desk space, and any other technology they're using. So if there is a dispute, we have 2 videos to go back to. If the student says, I didn't do it, we don't have to worry. We just are going to pull the both videos to say it is. And like I said, the faculty don't have to change anything. They can keep their test the way they have. They have it in My Math Lab or Mastering Physics or within the D2L, because I really don't want to become a burden for us. We're already lifting a heavy load of teaching. And the more I leave you guys alone to doing your thing, the better off we are. So we're trying to we're almost finalizing hiring our proctors and getting our equipment. So guess what? To figure out if it's actually going to work, I actually proctored my own tests in summer one. I teach physics, as I said. Live proctored all my tests, all my students. And you know what, surprisingly, is the best thing I've ever done in an online class. I got to know every single one of my students. They understand when they're logged in, they need to show me their ID, and I need to confirm which is who they are. And I allowed a handwritten notes. They show me they actually have a handwritten notes. I don't believe in printed one because the amount, for me, the printed material is not in your head. You actually handwrite it, you actually learn a little. So they show me, and they join the proctoring session through their cell phone. So they put the phone on the side through Zoom, and I hit the record. So they're not accessing anything. And you know what? Ever since I started to online, it's the best gift the universe gave me, being able to live proctor. And the joy to know they actually learn the material and learn their grade is unbelievable. And I have a feeling you all feel the same already. If not, you will feel it. The second thing I did is I took on as a faculty to proctor, and the second role I did is I took on the proctor role, and I volunteered for one of my colleagues who's teaching Calculus 3 in summer 2. I got to watch her students because I want to go through what a proctor goes through to make sure I can see their ID. If there's anything unusual, their activity they're doing, I got to remind them, please put it right to. This is not, you need to follow the rules by your instructor. So if your course requires a formula sheet, let me know. If you require a calculator, good. If you don't have anything else that can be part of the test, no problem. We will verify whatever your requirements are. The proctors will verify that they're following the rules. Got it? So with both of them, I feel like we're pretty good. I mean, we're still pretty good. So what I did was, out of the 52 faculty that opted in, I created a community group because I don't want to misplace any one of your emails. So I put them all in a community group. Everybody was able to join it. So all the instructions, any communication going back and forth is added to it. So if you happen to join today for your live proctoring for next Monday or September 2nd, just log back into the community group. Everything you need to know is already there. So, but I had to ask for a favor in the sense of we need to streamline this part. Some tests are 3 hours long, some are 2.5 hours. But to schedule the proctors at regular intervals, I had to ask the faculty if they can put the time limit for 2 hours. So it's easy for proctors to take the students. And also we're used to having tests that are 24 hours accessible. So Proctoring Center is only open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So you can keep the test open for 2 days. So you can get more options for students, more time slots for students to join in. And another thing is I had to figure out how to schedule the proctors. Right? Because if everybody want to take tests on Saturdays, on Friday and Saturday, I need like 15 proctors on Friday, Saturday, and none is coming in on Monday. So I had asked the faculty if they can possibly schedule math courses, which are 26 of them, to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and sciences, physics, chemistry, and biology to do Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If we cannot, no problem. But if we don't have a general trend, I cannot distribute the proctors evenly, and the students will not have enough hours to be flexible. So one more thing I asked is, if you have 2 attempts and 4 tests at a final, they have to schedule 9 tests. So because we're live proctoring, there's no reason for it. So I got to bring back 4 tests. And the last thing I asked was, imagine the finals week. There are 6 8-week 1 courses. That leaves me 46 courses. Everybody is taking an exam on the finals week. So it's going to become really, really difficult. So I want to give benefit of doubt to the faculty that are using only 3 or 4 exams in total. So we'll make sure they get the first opportunity. And some faculty are doing 6 tests through this. So I'm asking them, if possible, they could use a live lockdown browser monitor, or they can talk to themselves. Because I want to give the ones who are being respectful of the time for the proctoring center. There are a lot of lessons to learn, but I'm trying to figure out what best we can do with everybody that signed up. So we have a lot of things to talk about, right? Okay, why physics? Why only math? What about English? What about psychology? What about accounting, right? Guess what? Like I said, this is our situation. This is our challenge. We take pride in owning it. And guess what, guys? We're going to own this together. So let's talk about it. If a student cannot take an online test for whatever reason, they can always go to testing center. I cleared with them and I added all the details in the community. And trained faculty to self-proctor a few courses because as it is, the budget is gonna explode before too long, the more courses we add. So we need to own some of it ourselves. And you may say, but I don't know how. Guess what? I'm gonna teach you because I proctored all my tests in summer one. So it's not that difficult. I can show you how to schedule the test with your students. If you have 3 slots, every day you can do 4 to 6. So be it. Open it for 4 to 6, and the students will sign up if you need to at that time. And we have another different creative ways. One of the things I'm thinking about doing is just doing oral testing. Like if I teach 4 chapters of physics, I'm gonna ask one of the topics, and they can take 15-minute Zoom sessions. And if I pick up rotational motion, they gotta explain it on the spot. And do a couple of questions, and that's how they earn the credit. I'm just putting out different ideas because as we're changing, we gotta start changing the way we think and the way we assess the material. And one more thing you know very well, with AI breathing down our neck and also the meta classes, if we don't get ahead of this, the academic integrity is the last thing we have to take part in. So we can talk about it. Are we on other subjects? Let's talk about this because everything that's already approved by the curriculum teams will be in place by spring. And we need to figure out how to write the online tests a little bit more easily, right? We're intelligent. If we come together, we can discuss this. Guess what? I'm going to be in the WebEx every Friday, 3 to 5. There's my email. Just email me and let's brainstorm. And let's move it together. And that's right it. If you have any suggestions, comments, just email me. And I'm here to work with you. You guys have any questions? Yes.
Well, not really a question, just I know in physics, this is something we've been asking for, some of us for a long time, so I'm really, really grateful for the effort that's been put in here, and I'm really looking forward to getting to try it out, so.
Thank you, me too. This becomes, now this is, administration is willing to help us and support us. Guess what that means? We gotta come with a solution ourselves. Because if we don't do it now, I don't know when we'll do it. If it's not us, I don't know who else will do this. So guess what, guys? I'm looking at the best people in our system. We have the intelligence, we have the commitment, and we have the tenacity. We got this. And we will go present the solution. Like the chancellor said, academic integrity. We are an education institution. If we don't protect and preserve our academic integrity, I don't know what else will we have going. Why would we get up in the morning and come to work knowing there are a million ways that we're compromising? And it doesn't make us feel any better. So every single one of us is responsible to protect and preserve this. And we got this. Yeah, yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I am coming from Sci-Fi, from biology department,
Yes,
biology 2401. Actually, I am one of the people who signed up for this.
thank you.
Now, we have a standardized syllabus
Yes,
there for biology 2401. In there, we just finished today section 2 of the online.
right.
Now, I have here 4 lecture exams.
Right.
Plus 1 comprehensive final,
Yes,
total of 5.
right.
So it will be my responsibility to proctor this.
You know what? It's a very good question. The reason I recommend it to be 3 or 4 tests is we want to accommodate all the faculty that signed up. But we can still work with yours and work with the 4. If I can guarantee the 4 because they're not the final exam week. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
majority of the grade is already been live proctored. If possible, the final exam is the most critical time for us. Everybody's testing the same time. Even if we're open 8 to 8, I will look into adding more proctors for the final exam week than what we have the rest of the semester. And like, this is the first time we're doing, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I have an intention, I have commitment, and I have all of you to go with. But besides that, I know for a fact I'm gonna make mistakes. And I want you to walk with me and give me grace, give yourself grace, and we'll work on it. So if you want to leave your final exam, sure. And just be open to opening maybe 1 or 2 slots yourself. So you know what, for example, if you do Monday through Friday on the finals week, guess when the students are going to sign up most likely?
That last day.
Friday. So along with the fact, whoever proctors I can get, so I'm going to give you the other side of the point, right? If we hire part-time proctors, with this, an assumption that they're going to get 18 hours per week. Some weeks we may not even have any tests. Some week we have 1,000 tests. So I got to figure out the logistics, and that's the trickiest part of it. I know it's not an excuse. I just want to put it out there honestly, what I'm working on. So what you can do is schedule it, but offer your own students some other time, like 8 to 10 on the finals week. So you take some of your own students that are signing up for it, so you lighten the load on the proctoring center. So you can leave it the way it is, submit all your 5 tests, and open 8 to 10 on the finals week. So if anybody chooses to do 8 to 10 p.m., you can monitor them. That you can still do that. You know what you can do? You can add your own Zoom link. I will work with you as we get closer to the finals week. I will take all of your help because 1, they're your students. 2nd, we want to maintain the live proctoring. So we don't want to confuse the students. So the procedure is going to be exactly the same. Instead of a Lone Star proctor, it's going to be you proctoring. The setup is exactly the same.
Now, yes, that's good response there. Now, since there are 4 lecture exams, and this is just standard, to all of us
Yes,
there.
yes.
And July 23rd, lecture exam 2 covers chapters 3, 4, and 5 or whatever. So that July 23rd is when all of us will be given it. That's how it is. That's what we are doing. This is both lab and the lecture as well. Lectures will be set by our committee, who will set it up for everyone taking 2401 at the same time. Station. So would there not be a congestion? I don't know how you will be. I don't know how we are going to do this though.
Thank you for thinking about the other side. I know for a fact you care. And I'm so grateful you're all thinking about where I'm coming from because I've never hired a soul in my life. I never had to schedule a thing. Guess what? I'm not worried one bit because you're all in this together. So to answer your question, instead of putting the exam on July 23rd, keep it open for 4 days and be ready for the flood on the last day. Guess what the students are going to figure out? If I know there are going to be 4 classes coming in that day, I will actually schedule more proctors coming in. So 6 p.m. is the last scheduled time because it's a 2-hour test and the testing center closes a day. The last scheduled time is 6 o'clock. But if I have 3 different proctors coming in at 6 o'clock, I don't know how to schedule. Guess what I'm thinking? 6 o'clock, 6:05, and 6:10. So they look at 6 o'clock slot. They said, oh, all 6 are taken. They go to 6:05, all 6 are taken. 6:10, all 6 are taken. Guess what? They got to go to 4 o'clock. That's how life works. This is an online class. We have the flexibility to learn. With that comes the responsibility to schedule ahead. And they will move to the previous day or they will contact you. And you tell them, guess what, guys, this is exam 4. So what have you been doing with exam 1, 2, and 3? The first one, you know what, is going to get the time they want. The rest of them have to work with what they have. And you know what? Give grace to our students. They will rise up to it. They will figure that out. Because the first test is what I'm more concerned about. Because 1, I don't know what I'm doing. And the proctors are really really don't have a whole lot of experience. But like I said, I'm planning on being there Monday morning 8 until Saturday night 8 p.m. Because you trusting me with your passwords on your exams, on your students' names. And I will make sure everybody's scheduled properly. I'll give you my cell phone so you can call me. I will make sure all your instructions are taken care of exactly the way you want. But I'm already asking you for grace. So we're going to make it work. And if we need to compromise and adjust and change, so be it. You know why? Maintaining academic integrity is worth all of it and everything we got. And if we don't do it, I don't know who else will. If we don't do it now, I don't know when it'll ever happen. Yeah, go ahead.
Sarada, you mentioned over the summer you live proctored all your own tests?
Yes. The entire class, all 4 tests.
Suppose you did that over the course of the academic year, fall and spring semester, with the regular teaching load. Do you think that would be a reasonable thing to do?
Very good question, Anthony. For me, personally, yes, it is. You know why? Because it is eating at me by letting them do log browser monitor. It is really, really bothering me to give a grade to a student knowingly they're compromising. But is it practical? Maybe not. And that's where I'm trying to explain to our administration. It's not what I want to do. Am I going to make it through? Like, simple example, me being in the proctoring center 72 hours a week. I know it's not practical, but until the proctors are all comfortable in doing what they're doing, I cannot take myself. So I did that just to learn the process. And you know what surprised me? I only kept it open weekdays until 8 o'clock. Not a single student questioned me, can you open on a Sunday? Can you open at 10 p.m.? They didn't. That's the part I want you to understand. Our students are also kind. They want to follow the rules. And let's give them the opportunity to rise up and train them. This is the new Lone Star way. You're going to learn it and you're going to earn it. And we're going to be right there with you to make sure you're actually moving on to doing what you want to do in life.
So just a question to follow up on that. When you were doing it this summer, how many students did you monitor at a time?
Oh, thank you for asking that question. This is fantastic. I don't know how I missed it. So with the bigger monitors that we're ordering, we can monitor safely with all the details, 6 students at a time.
Okay, so I'm just thinking, because we were thinking logistically, 6 students at a time, if you've got an online class of 28, realistically, what, 7 slots, right?
28.
That's,
Yeah,
8.
yeah.
So that is 16 hours of course monitoring. Even for instructors who care a lot about academic integrity, we can't, if I'm in the classroom, I'm putting 2 hours in for a test. I can't put 16 hours in for every single look. And also that's not fair to ask of our admins, So that's why I think it's really important that we get the message across that this should not just be like for people who don't care to monitor their own. It's equity for both the full-time and the part-time instructors, that we're not putting too much of a load on faculty to do. Does that make sense?
Oh, you know what? I appreciate the comment so much because it was not easy to do that. But I had to do it to see if it's even possible. What am I looking at? What kind of complications am I going to run into? What kind of issues with a technical, personal, validating the ID, whatever else I'm going to deal with? Until I do it myself, I can't stand in front of you to tell you what to do. But with that in line, I'm also trying to communicate and educate and have a conversation with the administration with an explanation. If I'm teaching a face-to-face class, which I did for 11 years at UP, my proctoring time, live proctoring time is 8 hours, because if I have 4 tests, 2 hours each, that's the entire semester, it's 8 hours. If I do that in an online, the same 4 tests, the same exact course, that I need to multiply that 8 with 28, because that's how many students I have to accommodate. So that's going to become unreasonable. So but at the same time, the other flip side is having the system, expecting the system to fund for all these courses are also unreasonable, because we need to literally hire an army to accommodate everybody. So what I'm asking us to do is, I don't have the answers. I want us to work together by like I said to him, maybe open a couple of slots and take some of your load so the proctoring center won't be loaded heavily. So you may not be able to take the entire test for your entire course, but this is where the dialogue comes in, because we own it and we're going to figure this out. Until then, the system is willing to work with us. Yeah, thank you. Yes, go ahead.
So when you did budgeting, it sounds to me that the main reason of budgeting cut is because we are trying to talk to more people than proctor you.
Yes.
But then the reason why proctor you or all of those examine commercial companies, they don't proctor multiple people, what was the reason behind it? Is it because of privacy or some other legal issues? And why are we able to do that? And what if in the future they open that window? They say, oh, we can also monitor 10 people at a time because we have giant monitor whatsoever. and the price dropped like dramatically, and how do we justify what we are?
You know what? Fantastic questions. Half of them, I haven't figured that out yet. I kind of thought about it, but you know what? This is exactly where I would like us to be, to have this conversation, to keep an eye out, because I am starting to look at another software, starting in the fall, about how to proctor individually and have communication with students individually also. So the answer for that is all this ProctorU and Examine Auto, they are for-profit companies. They're not here to help us. And second, their proctors are not reliable. With us being our proctors, the instructions are going to be communicated clearly and the consequences are going to be taken care of, whether it's a faculty, student, or a proctor. So the money that we budgeted stays within our neighborhood and we can train our own people and expect, and you know what, I have a feeling as we train our students, you're missing one more thing that you guys didn't probably think about. Even though we can proctor 6 students at a time, some of the times we may have 1 or none. So I gotta actually schedule them to make the dollar go further. So for example, I'm gonna give you a silly example. I'm gonna monitor all 8 a.m. because there are not really that many students that are gonna schedule the test. And I don't wanna spend the money on a proctor that may be sitting around. So I'm gonna pick up all 8 a.m. schedules. So guess what? You opened the door perfectly. I want us to come together. And if you say, you know what? I have a couple of hours free on a Friday. I can log in and monitor whoever it is. And I'll work with you. So with all of us in this, we got this. And if we don't do this now, guys, I have a feeling we're gonna lose a goodwill with our administration. We got to show we're intelligent, we're driven, we're gonna solve this ourselves. And we're gonna present the solution to our administration. I have a feeling every single one, starting from the chancellor to all the presidents and everyone else in there, are gonna listen to us and will work with us because we're doing the right thing. And you're the thing. Yeah.
Sarada, I'm looking at this from like a dean's perspective, and academic integrity. Can you tell me more about the actual proctoring process and how the communication is going to take place? So if a student is compromising, what are the standards for that? What communication goes on with the faculty member? Like, what are the steps?
Perfect. Thank you so much for asking that question. The faculty that already signed up and are part of the D2L community group, I'm already communicating with them of their expectations, and I couldn't tell you all of that. And I'm glad you asked the question. One of it is, I proposed a bunch of questions to give it to the students as a part of the quiz. Already, we set the expectations up front. Your desk need to be clear. We need to be visible the entire time. You cannot wear headphones. You know what I mean? All the other
So
stuff.
what if a student doesn't do that?
Right up.
What are those consequences?
They already signed the legal agreement. They are going to get a 0, and if they repeat, they're going to be taken out of the class. And they are going to follow academic integrity rules for a home start. They're going to face it and they sign it before they actually take the test. It's already in the legal agreement that's built into the test. I already built it into the test, and the OGC already agreed with it. They okayed it, so that's legal part is taken care of.
So as a dean, if I get a faculty member that comes and says, I have, this student has this piece of paper signed, but they didn't have clear off their entire desk, I'm
Done.
giving them a 0 and.
No conversation. The college is going to be behind the faculty, 100%.
So it's 0 on the test.
Yes,
On test.
and if
Yeah,
they
it's-
continue to, the other thing is, this is where, I'm a physics faculty, guys, I've never done this before. But with all of your help, I'm able to go back and look at, oh wait, I need to take care of this, I need to take care of this, different things. All of your ideas is how I got to this place. So it's all of you, you're looking at yourselves. Second thing is the videos, the 2 videos that we have, is our insurance. The lockdown browser monitor, if they're wearing meta glasses, you know what they're doing. We have the proof. If they have anything else on the desk, the Zoom recording is going to show it. So between the 2, all taken care of. Between them signing the legal agreement and the 2 videos to back up, I'm hoping, but the one thing I have to confess with you, I'm not here to eliminate cheating. We're trying to minimize it as long as we can. The technology is always behind us. the intelligence of the students is always ahead of it.
But does the proctor in the middle of the test say, show a flag to the student and say, hey, you gotta put that away?
Yes. And
So
before
there
the-
is communication
Before the test starts, you
before.
need to show the ID, clear the desk, and make sure this is what you're allowed by your faculty. This is, anything else is not acceptable. Do you agree? And then only we'll give the passport for them to start the test.
Okay, so they're taking the test. You
Yes.
see that they're doing something that is against what they signed. Does the proctor tell the student, I'm sorry, you did not follow directions?
Yes.
Or is that communication go to the faculty member and the faculty
Both.
has
Answer is
to?
both. They're gonna tell they cannot pick a student in particular. They're gonna announce to if there are 6 of them, they'll say, guys, I'm here to remind you, you have to follow the rules that we already discussed. And the consequences will be communicated to the faculty, regardless if we have an issue or otherwise. There's a report already given by every single proctor that they act every single student. At the end of every single proctoring session, they are going to document every issue, whether it went well, whether we have issues, whatever it is, because that's where we learn from. And I want to protect our faculty first, because after all of this, I will never jeopardize the peace of mind of the faculty. They trust the proctoring center to do their job. The last thing I'll do is lose trust from you. I am one of you, and I am going to stand with you, and we're working together. Yeah. Lou, you had a question. Go ahead, sir.
I was change a little bit because of the rest of the discussion. The first thing I was gonna ask is how are you gonna schedule the times? And then students need to know if they have accommodation for extra time to start.
Perfect, fantastic. That's another thing I was gonna talk about. I'm so glad you asked. I already added all the 52 faculty into Register Blast, and I added videos into the community group of how to schedule the test, how you put schedule your test, and they search by your name on the test, and they know what slots are available, and they sign up for it. And I added videos for how students log into Register Blast and how they access the test also. And accommodations is something we got to work with, because we can put that information into Register Blast so we know. But at all times, you can communicate with me at all times, and I will be in communication with you at all times, because we have exceptions. And that's where the beauty is in the details, that we're going to do this right. And yeah.
And then just want to add a comment to your thing, is that the faculty can put notes in your exam and say, if the student violates this thing, either stop them immediately or let them finish and let the faculty know that.
Right.
That's how it works with proctoring too.
Right. The other thing I want to tell you is proctors will never get into a B2L. That's a sacred place. So the only way they're going to get the password is from me. And as soon as the student logs in, if I have 6 students that I am proctoring, 2 could be from Calculus 1, 2 could be from organic chemistry, 2 could be from anatomy physiology, from different instructors. So I got to make sure the roster, the name is there. I got to make sure the ID is matching. I got to make sure the instructions are given to them up front, and then I'll get the password. So I will also tell you which ones of your class students that finished the exam. So if somebody tried to do any other way, you know right off the bat, they didn't take the test with the proctors. That's an automatic 0. You know, there are going to be other instructions that I'm going to email you, but more than anything, I think I'm kind of coming to the end of the time, and I'm going to be here. I'm not going anywhere. It means the world to me that you trust me to do this. I am completely new. I'm one of you, and I learn from each one of you. And I plead with you, let's do this right. Let's show our administration we got this, and it is our priority. And the more of us that sign up, the thing that you didn't discuss that I'm dealing with a lot, if 2 colleges engineering physics signed up, other 6 did not, guess where the students are going to go? The ones that did not sign up. They don't know any better because they think they're going to get a grade. The more of us that sign up, the more uniform we keep this process. We as an institution need to stand by the integrity of what we're doing. I hope and pray you all understand, but I give you time because it's a pilot. You need to see how it goes. I hope you will be the champions to keep it going, and join me in finding more solutions. If you want more subjects to be added, more exams to be added, and things that need to be done differently, the softwares we need to look at. I'm right here with you. Yeah.
Could we request access to the community group even if we don't have?
Oh, thank you so much for asking. Yes, I am planning on giving email me, I will add you to the community group because every communication, any conversation is already preserved. I'm so proud of myself for that, to be able to create a community group because I realize I'm losing emails right off the bat from the beginning and I get only hundreds if not thousands of emails, sometimes a question. So everything is transparent. There is nothing hidden about it. So you join tomorrow or you joined 2 months ago, we all are exactly in the same place. And email me, I'll add you to the community group. And as the new course is coming on board, you're going to be ahead of the game. But just give me a couple of weeks, just so I'm so stressed out. I don't know if you realize. I love you, but I'm planning on living in that room 72 hours a week until I know, because I'm putting my name up front. And your trust means the world to me. The trust of the administration and the taxpayers' money that's spent on this. This is the most humbling place I've ever been in. And I don't take it lightly. Thank you so much for your time.